Developing tonight, a legal battle pitting the U.S. government against nuns who have devoted their lives to caring for the elderly, poor, and dying. The Obama administration today dug in with a new court filing at the Supreme Court, pushing against this religious order known as Little Sisters of the Poor. The nuns say they are being asked to sign a form that amounts to a permission slip for employees to access abortion drugs and sterilization techniques under Obamacare. The administration says this is no big deal. It's basically just a form opting out of the rules of Obamacare. So who exactly are these nuns and how did they get here? Here's a little video from them explaining.
We're here to live for Him and the elderly. That's our life. When the people you care for look up at you, they want to see Christ's face. And when you look down at them, you have to find Christ's face. The elderly are at risk if they are on their own, no one to speak for them, no one to stand up and express to the world and show the world that these people are still valuable. They're God's creation. And whether they're Catholic or of any other faith persuasion, you know, they have a home here.
In this home, nobody dies alone. They will hold your hand, they will do singing, and they will make you really feel somebody's there with you until the last breath.
I'll be 95 in November.
What? And she takes care of our chapel.
Part of our role is collecting because, you know, we don't get a salary, we don't have enough income. So we go begging, and it's really begging, we call it collecting. But you know that in every encounter, when you're feeding them or assisting them in any way, helping them into a chair, listening to them, all those are opportunities when we meet Christ really living in them. And then we bring Christ to them and ourselves. It's the most beautiful moment. And when they've finally gone into the hand of God, you know they're there. It's a happy moment. I'm crying.
Well, Mark Rienzi is senior counsel with the Beckett Fund, whose name you saw on that video, for religious liberty. He's lead counsel for the Little Sisters of the Poor. And obtained a stay from Justice Sotomayor of the U.S. Supreme Court on forcing these nuns into complying with Obamacare this week. Now, let me ask you, Mark, congratulations on your victory. But
Thank you.
Talk about being on the side of the angels. However, the DOJ is fighting you tooth and nail on this, and they say all your clients need to do, they ask for an exception to this requirement of Obamacare, that they have to provide contraception coverage. The Obama administration gave it to them. Sign the form, you're accepted, go on with your lives. What's the problem?
Well, the problem, Megan, is that form is actually a permission slip. So that form, under federal law, authorizes and directs other people to provide contraceptives, sterilization, and abortion-inducing drugs.
Let me stop you there. Then they say, okay, but not in this case, because the insurer for this group of nuns is a group of Christian brothers. So they won't be doing it either.
So a couple things. One, that's just not what the law says. The law says that they would have to do it if you give them the form. And those nuns who you watched in the video there, they're not willing to sign a form to tell anybody to give out abortion-inducing drugs. The government's pitch to the Supreme Court is, oh, go ahead, sister, sign the form. The form doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about it. If that were really true, you'd have to ask, why is the Justice Department fighting the nuns all the way to the Supreme Court just to make them sign the form? If it didn't mean anything, the government wouldn't be fighting at the Supreme Court against a group of nuns.
Mm-hmm. You know, you watch that video and you see the good works that the sisters are providing, and it's really, it's moving. And you think this is a difficult position for the Obama administration to be in, to have Eric Holder going up against these nuns. But then you read some of the commentary online, Mark, and I quote in particular Slate.com, that talks about the spectacle of these plaintiffs, and I quote, your clients, the nuns, trying to weasel out of nothing more onerous than signing a piece of paper. Look at those sisters, the weasels, according to Slate.com.
Those sisters do the best and most important work, or some of the best and most important good work of anybody in society. They take care of the needy elderly of our society, and they care for them with dignity and love until they die. They're not weasels, and they're not trying to weasel out of anything. They're Catholic nuns. They have religious beliefs that they live by, and there are certain things they can't do. And if the piece of paper is really a meaningless piece of paper, then why on earth is the government threatening them with huge fines if they don't sign it? The piece of paper is actually the key to the government system to get people contraceptive and abortion drugs and to get reimbursement payments made for those drugs. If the government wants to get those drugs to people some other way and leave the sisters alone, they can do that. But the problem is the government has said, sister, you need to sign the form and you need to be part of it. And if you won't do it, we're going to crush that beautiful ministry everyone just watched about. We're going to crush it with fines. That's no way for a free government to run.
Wow. We'll see how this case plays out at the U.S. Supreme Court. Mark, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Megan. Take care.
All the best.